This is video part 2, looking at a collection of over 3,000 books here. And starting with box number 4, we've got Mars Attacks versus Kiss. Got about 6 copies of that. Marvel Now, that's a preview comic from Marvel, a whole bunch of number 2s and one number 3. Then we get into the Mind Management section. First appearance in the rare one-shot from Dark Horse 3 story. And I've got a couple copies of that. Also, they appeared early in Dark Horse Presents, number 19. Got a couple copies of that. And then we get into Mind Management. I have 2 number 0s, and then I got a few number 1s, 2s, 3s. I'm sold out of 4 now. And then eventually I have this many copies, about 80 copies of number 5, about 40 copies of number 6, about 40, 50 copies of number 7, and about 95 copies of number 8. Mondo, number 14, oversized comic, Ted McKeever's Mondo. I believe it's number 4. Oh, it's number 1, first issue. This one is unique because it has first appearance of Peter Panzerfaust previewed in it, which also happens in Morning Glories. I've got some copies of Morning Glories 14, 15, 16. The Movement is a new number 1 from DC. I have 15 copies. Chris Martin of Coldplay has started his own miniseries at Bongo Comics. Milo Xyloto based on their CD. And I have about 5 copies each of number 1, 2, and 3. New Avengers baby variant covers, number 1, the white cover, a couple of those. And then about 5 of the regular cover of number 1. And then we have first printings Nova number 1. I got about 20 of those. Box number 5 is officially the Nowhere Men box. You'll see that I have first printings. Just show you, we got 3 copies of number 1 at about 30, 40 bucks each. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 copies of number 2 first print. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 copies of number 3 first print. Got some number 1 third printings, number 2 third printings, and a whole bunch of number 1 fourth printings. We've got a whole bunch of number 2, as I mentioned. Oh, trying to pick these apart. I've got about, I think, 20 copies or so of the number 3. I think that's the third printing. And then I have over 200 copies of number 4 first printing. Box number 6, the Peter Panzerfaust box. We have an actual, almost every issue you could think of. Here, hiding in here. Peter Panzerfaust, number 1, first printing. Number 2, second printing. Number 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9. Then I get into a whole bunch of reprints. I have about 95 number 7 second printings. I have about 95 number 9 second printings. And I have about 40 copies of number 10 first printing. Pilot Season, first appearance of The Test. Going to be turned into a movie or TV show potentially in the future. So I got 6 of those. Got a whole bunch of Planet of the Apes comics from Boom, different ongoing series and mini-series. Got about 50 different issues for fans of the movie series. Poison Ellis was restarted this year. Drew Hayes series, though this time it's not done by him, but there's 2 different covers of number 1, and I have about 10 copies of each of the 2 covers. Polarity number 1, first printing. Polarity number 2, I have about 20 of those first printing. Princess Diana, a unique female force comic. Rachel Rising, first print, number 1. I've got a number 2, another number 1, another number 2. 4, 5, 14, 15, and 16 in there. So there you go. That would be And a box set 6. Now looking at box number 7. What do we got here? Starting with the Revival, we've got 3 copies of the Image Firsts version. Then we have the original Revival #1 variant cover. I have, I think, 3 copies of the Revival. This is the Phantom variant with blood stains on her face and shirt, which isn't on the regular cover. Number 2, 1 copy of the first printing. Number 3, I have some second printings, but I also actually have a whole bunch here, about 4 or 5. Number 3, first prints. Both worth at least $10 each. We've got number 4s, first prints, about 5 of those. Saga Image First version, and then Saga number 2, first printing. I have 3 of them. Saga number 3, first print. 5, 6, 7, maybe about 8. There's a couple of second printings. And a Saga number 4, second printing. Savage Wolverine, white variant cover. I've got 3 of those. And then the regular cover, I think I have 40 of them. Now we've got Secret Avengers #1, regular cover, about 20 of those. Sesame Street from Ape Comics, 5 different covers. I have 15 of each for a total of 75 covers. Sex #1 from Image. I have first printings, and I probably have about, 30 #1s left, and I have about 90 #2s. Then we get into 6 Gun. I have the free comic book day version of #1. I have 2 #1s, 2 #2s, 2 #3s, a 4, a 5, a 6. I've got some others, like multiples of 16, 17, 18. I think I have a 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And then 30, I have 100 copies of number 30. Then there was the miniseries Sons of the Gun. There's a special variant cover of #1 from Comics Pro, which I have. And this is first printing with the Comics Pro variant logo on the cover. About 15 of those. I also have about 15 #2s and about 5 #3s. Then we get into Son of Merlin from Image. This had a $1 cover, and there were 2 regular covers, and I have, what do I have, 50 of each cover about. Strain is a miniseries. It's going to be turned into a movie, so it's quite hot. The Strain #1, and I have a few other issues. I don't have a complete set. A couple #1s, like 5, 6, 7, 9, 11. After that, Suicide Risk is a new ongoing series from Boom Comics. I have 49, I think, #1s. 10 grand, brand new Image comic. Also 2 regular covers. And I have 100 copies of each of the 2 covers. So the whole half of the box is 10 grand. And then finally, box #9 here, we've got Star Wars #1, first print, hot, sold out book. I have 8 of those. I have more than 8 of #2, about 5 of #3, 5 of #4. Steam Wars from Antarctic Press, Fred Perry, #1 ongoing series. I have 20 #1s of that, based on, influenced by Star Wars. Steed and Mrs. Peel from Boom Comics. Got some of those, 0, 2, 3, 3, 5. Death of Superman comic, bagged from 1992. I have, I think, 6 bagged versions. The Test is supposed to be turned into a movie. I have 1, 2, 3 copies of that. Thief of Thieves. Image first printing, 2 of those, but I have 1 original first printing, which is really nice. I have some extra later printings of #1, later printings of #2 and #3, but then I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 copies of #4 first print, both worth about $10 each. 1, 2, 3 copies of #5 first print, And 3, 4, 5 or 6 copies of number 6. Think Tank #1 first print is sold out everywhere. 3 #1 first prints and a second print. And then a couple copies each of 2, 3, and 4. And what do we got here? New #1 from DC, Threshold #1. I've got about 7 of those. Todd, the Ugliest Kid on Earth, first print #2. I've got 4 of those, sold out in #1. Got a whole bunch of True Blood issues. Batch of them there, about 12 different issues. Cover price, all $3.99 each. More than 12, in fact, some duplicates. Brand new series from Black Mask, 12 Reasons to Die. There's 2 regular covers. I have 2 of the one, 3 of the other. Then we got Uber #0. I've got 3, 4 of the regular cover and 1, 0 of the propaganda cover it is. And then issue #1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the #1, that cover. And of the other cover, I think I have 4. This one. Looks like 5. Walking Dead, 104, 107. Walking Dead Weekly, #4 and 8. Survivor's Guide #2. And then we've got the first printing of the Governor's Special #1. And it looks like I have 6 of those. Wolverine #1 from Marvel. I have, I think, about 70 copies. Uncanny Force #1 from Marvel this year. It looks like I have about 30 copies. Then we get into Uncanny X-Men #1 from 2013, and I also have about 30 copies. Dead Weekly #3 stuck in there. I've got Extinction, part of the crossover storyline for the X-Men this year, and I got about 20 of that #1. And finally, Young Avengers #1 regular cover. I have about 20 of those. I've also got other things like some of the Walking Dead graphic novel, 2 copies of #1. Got 3 complete sets of all the Planet of the Apes graphic novels. I've got other older comics. I've got a whole bunch of old treasuries from the 70s. And a whole bunch of Overstreet price guides, etc. So anyway, there you go. That's 3,000 or so comics.